afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane, it's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it, I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes. Pieces is a form of art. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.
All right, guys. Happy Tuesday. Checking my mic here. Tuesday, August 5th. Welcome back to the show. I have invited another YouTuber on to talk about Lucid because, I stopped following a lot of the EV companies a year ago plus because they were all struggling. But I do keep up with them from time to time. I just don't talk with you guys about them so much. So we will see if Financial Journey joins us tonight, and we will see if Mediocre Trader makes it in here as well. Lucid having their second quarter earnings today after the market closed. Let's look at what the stock price looks like. Down 8.5%. Got spanked. Lucid has a goal this year. Let me pull up my handy dandy spreadsheet. 18 to 20,000. I know that's probably tough for y'all to see. And they are at 6,400 deliveries halfway into the year. So a little bit behind the 8 ball. Richie Rich, what is up? He says open is down a bit. Yeah, we can talk about open and whatever tickers y'all want to talk about tonight. I want to kind of go through a little bit of the Lucid stuff. I need to update I've got a little tab here for for all of the EV companies. I think some of them maybe not even around anymore. Remember that conversation we had a couple of years ago? I said, look left, look right. 2 of these guys, 2 of the 3 won't be around. It's a tough business, this EV business. I need to update my market cap tab. Obviously haven't done that since 2023. But I think this is all up to date on Lucid. And the kind of interesting headline I saw on Lucid a few weeks back was an investment from Uber. And I didn't make it all the way through the earnings call tonight just yet. Maybe Financial Journey can catch us up. Or maybe y'all already know. But apparently Uber and Lucid are going to team up on a luxury robotaxi, which is interesting to me because I am not aware of what robo capabilities Lucid has, if any. But maybe we will learn more about that this evening or this week. It's definitely something I want to go read and catch up on. So hopefully Hopefully they shared some details on that tonight. Let's see what else we got in here. Just a general recap. I mean, when I started tracking their production back in 2022, they were building 700 a quarter. They got 3863 produced this quarter. So they've been ramping up, but when we look at the numbers, when we look at the actual performance, revenue increasing. All right, good. However, the tough thing until you get production up. Look at that operating income. Not making any headway. Even with the revenue going up, operating income, it's a rough story. When we go to net income, same thing, rough. Not a positive there yet. Shares outstanding going up. Earnings per share, not so hot. Free cash flow. Oh man, it's rough. Rough business. I do not have a position in Lucid, by the way. I find all of these companies fascinating. I've test driven a Lucid, beautiful cars. I'd love to see any of them succeed besides Tesla. Cash and cash equivalents, 1.7 bill. Current assets, 3.9. Total liabilities, 4.5. Oh, wait, current. 3.9 versus 1.5. Total assets, 8.8 versus 4.5. And that's okay for the moment, but they're just burning cash. Operating cash flow. Ouch. 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 How do you get there? How do you get to the point where you're not blowing up cash? They do have a nice vehicle. I was very fortunate that they came down. I think they came down from Dallas and brought some vehicles, and the location where they were scheduling the test drives was just right up the road for me. So I got to test several of their vehicles, not the Gravity, but yeah, beautiful cars. I have heard from people that I follow in the EV industry that technology-wise, Lucid is top-notch. Maybe their software in the car could be spiffed up a little bit, if you're having to live with it. Obviously, in my 10-15 minute test drive per vehicle, I don't, you can't really make that kind of judgment. Dink says they're burning cash like a sailor on shore leave. Yeah, it is rough, and I don't say that to be negative to Lucid, but to any of you that are following these EV plays. This is something that we've been talking about for several years. It's fine to be excited about the cars. Our favorite line, they sure got pretty vehicles. They do have pretty vehicles. They have phenomenal technology. But if you're going to stand up as a retail investor in front of that Gatling gun of operating cash burn, man, go in it with your eyes wide open, because this is tough to survive. Let's zoom out. Let's just see where we've been since 2023. Oof. This is why I stopped covering these companies. $57 in 2022, 17 in 2023, and we're at 240 now. And they do have a vote coming up. I was hoping Cal could come talk with us about that, but I'll put it up on the screen. They have a vote coming up for a reverse split. Let's see. August 18th for stockholders of record as of July 25th. Proposal 1, an amendment to effect a reverse stock split. And I believe it is up to a 1 to 10. Yeah. At a ratio of 1 to 10. They got to raise more money. You know what happens when you got that cash burn. NASCAR says Peter Rawlinson could never get it going as Lucid CEO. I liked Peter. He seemed like a decent guy. I don't know if he was a CEO. But now we got interim CEO Mark Winterhoff. I have not heard him talk yet. I don't know much about him. I don't know anything about his background. Let's just look real quick. Prior to joining Lucid, Mark was a partner at Roland Berger, a European management consultancy, where he focused on operational leadership for large automotive manufacturing, managing manufacturing and cost efficiency, introduction. I mean, this is in one paragraph, that's a nice sounding resume. He's also got an MA in electrical and electronics engineering and management. Sounds good on paper. I don't know anything about him. Maybe he can turn it around. Lucid also has, if I recall correctly, they have production in Saudi Arabia. So it's Casa Grande, Arizona. Unless something's changed, like I said, I'm trying to catch up my spreadsheet because this one's just been sitting abandoned like a redheaded stepchild. Casa Grande, Arizona. I have some videos, initial coverage you guys can find. I did on Lucid several years ago, but then as I was watching it, I was like, this is not going to go the direction that we need to be following this company every quarter or every week. So I just been watching from the sidelines. Casa Grande, Arizona, and Saudi Arabia. They do have a fairly large investment from the Saudis, and they have a plant over there where they're, I presume they're doing production or assembly now. I could see the Saudis liking a car. Look at this Lucid Air Sapphire, $249,000. I bet they got some even more expensive ones you can buy over there in Saudi Arabia. What's up? Chris's Concert Corner. He says reverse splits are just an opportunity for short sellers to push it down even more. It does end up that way often, Chris. I did a video. Some people really hated it. Some people found it interesting. A couple of years ago, going through some statistics on reverse splits, and basically what we see is this. Reverse split just changes the shares outstanding and the price. By it itself, a reverse split does not change the fundamentals of the company's operations. So until the fundamentals of the company change, it's still going to be shorted. But yeah, now I get it, and I agree. given them a higher price to short from. The companies that there were companies in my video a couple years ago that did a turnaround and had massive share price success after a reverse split. Not immediately. It was what? When they fixed their fundamentals. So that's what we need. I see Cal in the back room here. What's up? Can you hear me?
Hey, Tony. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome. Why don't you?
Sorry for joining late.
Yeah, no worries. Why don't you introduce yourself to the folks? I know that you have been following the EV companies a lot more frequently than I have because I see you reporting on them. So I wanted to bring you on and have you share some thoughts on Lucid. But first, tell the folks a little bit about yourself and how they can find you.
Hey, okay, so I have a couple YouTube channels. One is Lucid City, where I do cover specific to Lucid content, and I've been covering them since they pretty much did the whole SPAC in 2021.
All right. So you have a Lucid specific channel. I didn't know about that.
Yep. One of many.
Well, then you're definitely the right guy to have on to talk to me about Lucid tonight.
Yeah.
Now, do you still have the Financial Journey channel?
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
And I first ran into Cal, ladies and gentlemen, from coverage on Mullen. What do you think about Mullen these days, Cal?
At least it's going for the record for reverse stock splits.
Crazy stuff.
It's insane. But I think in general that shows so many oversights from the SEC and Nasdaq. I know the Nasdaq's supposed to protect the public, and they've definitely dropped the ball.
They're saying we got an echo, so I'm going to stop my screen share, and that should help. So I had the system audio. Go ahead and say something, Cal, and see if we still have the echo.
Test.
All right, guys, is that any better? I can still share the screen. I'm just not going to share the audio. All right. We're not going to talk about Mullen tonight other than just say, God bless anybody who's still trying to trade that one. I have never been a fan of Mullen other than just like watching a train wreck in slow motion.
Yep.
I want any of them to have a chance to succeed. I'm not against any EV company, but good Lord, man, Mullen, nobody signed on to their dream of repackaged Chinese vans. So,
well, I think also even in general, all EVs, it's very telling on what management chooses to do, whether they chose to go the toxic lending route or if they just do a traditional S1, because of course, I think every EV except Tesla needs money. So that's not any surprise, but how they get that money is very telling of what they think of for shareholders.
I will share one humorous screenshot with you just for a second before we move back to Lucid. Have you seen the David Michery boxing tournament going on?
Kinda. I've tried to not really pay attention to that anymore, but
I guess, he's getting bored of EVs, so he's over here running a boxing promotion this week. August 9th through 25th. Get your tickets now. This will be another sold out event. Oh boy. All right. Back to Lucid. Before we get into some of the results, did you listen to the call today?
Yes.
What can you tell me about this Uber partnership? Because I was not aware that Lucid had any sort of robotaxi capability.
They tentatively didn't. They've been working on a lot of hands-free with the NVIDIA chip. They haven't really done that much in development though. So this partnership kind of is helping them really push the autonomous levels. So yeah, prior to that deal, there wasn't really all that much.
Did they even talk about it at all before the Uber thing, or was that a surprise to you also?
Uh, they, to be fully honest, they've been mentioning partnerships, various partnerships for the last 2 year and a half. So I think people, it was kind of like boy who cried wolf. Um, this time around, I think Mark did mention that there was going to be investors were going to be pleasantly surprised at the Q2 earnings because of a big announcement. So I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but there was no big announcement at the earnings. I assume that was the Uber deal that they just released
Yeah, they
prematurely.
announced that what, like in the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, yeah, very interesting timing for sure. But we did get some additional context from that in the earnings today. So in the actual PR, it just says that Lucid will be receiving roughly 300 million to fulfill 20,000 orders. Doesn't say the variation of what type
Say
of
that again?
vehicle. Um, that there's a 20,000 order,
From
20,000
Uber
plus.
or Saudi
So
Arabia or
Uber,
who?
yeah,
Okay.
Uber, yeah. So Uber's gonna buy 20,000 plus over the next six
Oh, over
years
6 years, okay.
of, uh, yeah. And we found out from today, it's going to be starting late 2026. So we're no orders from now until then. Um, and based on at least what they mentioned for it being late 2026, clearly Uber is going to be trying to target and buy the mid-size vehicle, which is coming late 2026 as well. So we found that information out. Um, didn't really give much context aside from that just 300 million is coming and orders are going to be starting late 2026. So that's the only thing that we got. Um, they seem very optimistic about that though. Of course,
Yeah.
why wouldn't they? That's their big thing.
I wonder how
Um,
Uber is going to afford these vehicles. I mean, you already got a very expensive base model, and now you got to put all the tech on top of it.
well, the thing is, Uber is the PIF has a majority, or not a majority, but they have a significant stake in both
Okay.
Uber and a controlling interest in Lucid. So they're kind of just got both of their big investments to work together. So most likely, Uber got a substantial deal. So Mark, the CEO of Lucid, was on Bloomberg, was asked what price point Uber was given these vehicles at, and he failed to comment on that. So most likely, Lucid's going to be barely making any money off this. So probably Uber got like a killer deal.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms, I could see that in terms of just ramping up your production, though. The more, if I'm assuming they're going to be using like the Lucid Air, the Lucid Pure, not a new
Well,
chassis, are they?
no. It sounds like Lucid is going to be phasing out the Pure, and the reason why I think what they're going to be doing is they're going to be focusing on the Gravity and the midsize. And I think based on the comments that was mentioned today, how orders are going to be fulfilled late 2026 to Uber, that goes to show that if they're not going to order any Airs, only because they currently have inventory of that, so they could start fulfilling those orders, but I don't know.
Did the Gravity get in production, or are we still waiting on Gravity?
Well, it was supposed to be ramping up in Q2. There was I live streamed the earnings and I kind of said a joke during there because supposedly there was a big deal about
Yeah,
magnets in
yeah.
Q2 that caused the Gravity to fail to ramp up.
Hmm.
Um, so luckily, and this is what I kind of mentioned. So Lucid's trying to kind of signal themselves as a tech play. That's why they have the amazing technology. They're trying to say, hey, we're not just an auto company, we're a tech company. For being a tech company or trying to portray yourself as that, the CEO just said, hey, we dealt with an issue with magnets, but luckily our team magically figured it out. So I was kind of saying the joke that it's like Harry Potter came and just fixed their stuff, because it's like, I don't know how someone couldn't explain more professionally other than magic fixed
Yeah,
it.
that's kind of odd. Magnets are very binary technology. It's not even high tech. It it either works or
Yeah.
it doesn't. Wonder what the issue was. So I have on my spreadsheet here, last time I was working on this spreadsheet, I had the Gravity is releasing in late 2024. And I'm assuming that got bumped all the way to 2025 now. It's not, you can't
Yeah.
buy one. No one's driving one, right?
They started to do some orders. So I think a very small handful, I would estimate maybe less than 100 people
All
probably
right.
have them. They did actually deliver, air quote, deliver to some employees in Q4 2024. So I think they did that just so management would get their executive bonuses for actually doing that.
Surprise.
But basically, from those, I think, was it 5 or 10 that they did in Q4 just to employees? They haven't done pretty much anything up until, I would assume, end of Q2. That's when they started to really do some.
Because of
Um,
magnets.
so
What about
yeah,
the mid-size? Is
so
that still late 2026?
late 2026, but they mentioned that production will be ramped up slowly throughout 2027. So they're going to start production late 2026, and then it sounds like it's going to be another gravity issue. So it's going to be probably late 2027 when they actually do ramp up. Um, and I don't know if you've kept up to date with Lucid with their recent developments, but they actually bought Nikola's old facility, which in theory could have helped Lucid really move up the mid-sized for
Yeah,
production.
I did not know that.
But they quashed that. They said that was asked to them today. They said, no, we're not going to utilize that facility to speed up the midsize. So the real question is, like, what the hell did you spend that money on for that dead facility? Like, it makes no sense. What? So they have a dormant facility that's not really doing
All right,
anything.
something for me to dig into. I see we got Timothy Chalamet on board as a global ambassador now. I saw his face splashed on their website too.
Yeah, that's probably one of the last individuals I would have assumed
They need to get
was going to
him
be
and
that.
maybe Sydney Sweeney together in a car. That would
Yeah.
sell some vehicles.
Oh, easily. Yeah, most definitely.
Sydney Sweeney, she's got nice wheels. Something.
Yep. And that'd be,
Uh,
I'm sure it's think outside the
I
box.
see they're working. They're able to work with the Tesla supercharger now. That's
Yep.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's going to be the new Airs, I believe, going
I'm looking
forward.
at a couple slides here. Revenue is bumping up as we were talking about before you joined, but margins and EBITDA, net income, operating cash flow, everything's suffering, even though revenue is bumping up. It's just not enough of a.
Yeah. They cited tariffs.
It's more than tariffs, Cal. But looking at the
Yeah.
numbers I'm looking at, I mean,
That's,
it certainly appears to be more than tariffs.
yeah, there's a lot of cracks, that's for sure, already.
It's an expensive business to run a highly tooled factory with. You got to have a lot of sales. Do
Well,
you think they're going to hit their 18 to 20,000 target for this year? Cal, did we lose you? overcame key supply chain constraints on track to significantly increase production in second half. Maybe they will. Maybe they will hit it. Cal dropped off. Let's see if he jumps back in here in a second. Optimizing our supply chain and vertically integrated production capabilities, address key production bottlenecks, implemented initiatives to drive greater supplier accountability and data-driven execution, strengthened commitment to U.S. manufacturing, rapidly integrated substitute magnets through vertical integration. Maybe I should go apply here at Lucid. This is all in my wheelhouse, optimizing factory production, new product development. Where would I'd have to move to Arizona? It's not that bad. Can't be that much hotter than Texas, could it? Ended Q2 a total liquidity of $4.8 billion, including $3.6 billion in cash. Good liquidity, providing ample flexibility to fund operations, scale the Lucid Gravity production, and invest in future platforms. Here we got our photo of Timothy. New higher visibility from the partnership with Uber. That should be good if they're able to pull that off. Let's see, studios. So here in my area, we got one in Dallas. Dink says it's a dry heat up there in Arizona. That's probably better than the humidity heat we have here, Dink. Looks like they are fairly well spread out along the coast. Not too much in the Midwest or the center of the U.S., but, you know, they're expensive cars. They're going where the money is. Big cities. We got exposure over in Europe, and then, of course, Saudi Arabia as well. My question just for me on all of these companies is I call them uninvestable this early. Like many companies that are losing money, as an investor, the big question is at what point, if ever, can you come in where the dilution risk has been wrung out of the play and it's nothing but smooth sailing? I don't know that we're quite there yet with Lucid. Lucid Gravity is now available in all studios in the US. All right, maybe I need to check in with them and see if they have. Oh, here's our pop-ups: Monterey, San Fran, Chicago, Troy, Miami, Dallas in November. Well, maybe I'll take a trip up to Dallas in November. Check it out. Working on their hands-free drive assist, hands-free lane change. Partnership with Uber, we've talked about that. I am not familiar with Nuro, so I'm going to have to go do a little reading up on them. Nuro to provide AI-powered self-driving software. NASCAR says, what was Palantir's turning point? We'll pull up Palantir in just a second when we get through the rest of these slides. I do want to talk about Palantir. But that is an excellent point. So their prior guidance was around 20,000 vehicles. They lowered it this quarter to between 18 and 20. There's Cal back. Hey, buddy.
Hey, sorry about that.
It's all right. We're crunching through the slides here from their presentation deck. What do you know about Nuro? Anything? Can you save me some?
I kind of just did some research. I think they seem to me from my just a dormant company. They didn't really have much of anything. They haven't really been doing much of anything. They did partner with Uber back in, I think it was 2022, if I remember correctly. Aside from that, there's been no real substantial developments. Lucid seems to be the big thing that they were waiting on. Mark mentioned in a previous interview that they've been kind of going over the terms over the last 6-7 months. So I think this has been something that's been in negotiation status for a while. But yeah, it looks as though they haven't really done too much.
Do you have any? I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but do you have any idea on the timeline? If we look forward a year or two, have you sat down and looked at the numbers to see if there's a point at which Lucid does not need to keep raising so much money?
Oh, they'll need consistent money up until probably 2028, I'd assume. That's kind of more so they're late 2028 break even, and that's best case scenario.
So talk to me about the social media sentiment. How are retail traders digesting that? How are they feeling about it? Do they grasp the weight of what that means?
I think most truly long-term investors accepted that like it's going to be a bumpy ride. That's the problem, though. I think Lucid came onto the scene, was immediately seen as the next Tesla, and people kind of got into that, and which it still is possible down the line, but I think there is more pain. One thing that I think the sentiment has changed recently is because of the reverse stock split and the reasoning behind that. And I completely agree. Like them doing a reverse stock split, I feel like it just does not make fully that much sense.
Let's see what they say here. I happen to have it, the proxy. The board's primary objective in proposing this reverse stock split is to increase the per share trading price of the company's common stock, reduction in the number of outstanding shares. This would enhance the market perception of our common stock, particularly. Oh, this is the one where they basically said we don't want as many retail traders in our stock, right?
Yep.
I remember, I forgot that was Lucid, but I remember a company that people were upset a week or two ago. They were like, what do you mean? You don't want retail traders anymore. The way this reads, we want more institutional and other sophisticated market participants. Ouch. I don't know that is actually what they meant, but I mean, that's a generic statement it's just about the choice of your word selection, right? They're thinking if the stock is under $5, institutions aren't going to take it serious.
Yeah. I guess there's another way that could be argued. It's just, I guess, the level of shorts on a daily basis make up for almost about 50% of the overall volume every single day. So I think it's very common knowledge that shorts tend to target primarily retail-driven stocks. And maybe that is why they get retail out. There'll be a deterrent against shorts, maybe add some more stability to the price. Maybe, I don't know. That's another way of kind of thinking about it.
My take on reverse splits is still the same. It always has been. If It's one thing to do a reverse split. A reverse split doesn't change anything, but you must understand what is the motivation for that reverse split and ask yourself with every company, have they communicated that they need to raise additional cash? That is the answer of what is likely to happen after the reverse split to the price. If the company's communicated that they need to raise more cash, and that is one of the driving reasons for the reverse split, then it's probably going to be shorted.
So the problem also with the reverse stock split, it's kind of doing a Mullen type of scenario where it's maintaining the authorized share count at 15 billion. So it's resetting the outstanding share count and all the preferred shares. It's affecting everything, but it's keeping the authorized shares the same. So I agree with you. The motive behind it is primarily dilution, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, that's what are you going to do if your company's not making money? You're in the public market to raise cash, and that's why it falls to us as investors to make the decision every day. Do I want to buy more of this stock, or do I want to sit it out for a while? I mean, that's up to each and every one of you. Watch them. And that, Cal, that's why I talk so much about the financial statements. It drives people nuts. Just tell us the good news, Tony. Don't look at the financials. I don't know how much you cover that on your channel.
Well, I usually do daily updates, so I don't mean to always like when new information presents itself, then yeah, I bring it up and what that does mean, but I don't really bring that up on a daily basis.
Yeah, we don't need to bring it up on a daily basis. This is like a once a quarter discussion.
Yeah, most definitely.
Are they making money, or do they need money? You know, you gotta think ahead the next 3 to 6 months. What is likely to happen?
Yeah. So most likely I do anticipate, just based on everything, them to dilute end of Q3, early Q4. That's going to be the next probably 1.5 to 2 billion issuance.
Oh man, what else are we voting on here?
That's it. Just the one.
All right. The company will not issue fractional shares. In lieu of issuing fractional shares, company will make arrangements, I guess, to pay in cash. I tried to do the Mullen reverse stock split trick. It worked for me back in September. It did not work this time around.
Yeah.
Where you buy one share right before the reverse split and then get your 250x the next day. Didn't work for me. Fidelity just gave me my 3 cents back instead of my $8.
I tried to do that once, once, and then it just took my share. I didn't get any reimbursement, so I was like,
What?
whatever. I was like,
I
okay.
was listening to Corax and Platinum this weekend, and she said that happened to her I think it was on Mullen. She's like, they took my share after the reverse split, and I never got nothing. It just disappeared. I was like, how does that even happen?
Yeah.
Call them, fight for your 3 pennies.
Yeah, no kidding.
Rest easy though, guys. I got my 3 cents back. So
About the reverse stock split, though, they did mention in the earnings call that it will be occurring. Well, it's kind of funny how they worded it. They said it will be occurring if approved, which of course it will be, in early September.
And it will be approved because Saudi Arabia has all the votes, right?
Yep.
Vote is on August 18th. All right, something for us to look forward to. You got any other thoughts or comments you want to share about Lucid before we move on? Any questions from the audience for Cal about Lucid before we move on to some different tickers? I'll give them a couple minutes. Let me see if there's any other stuff on the slide deck. Cal, did you have any other info you wanted to
Just
Does it
the
share
only
from the
purpose of that Timothy, I can't remember his last name, that global,
Chalamet?
yeah. So his purpose, so he's going to be starting some stuff in early September this year. And his whole purpose why Lucid did sign with him is to help push the Gravity. And that's in their head going to be laying the foundation for the midsize. So that's what his plan is. He's going to be pushing the Gravity.
There he is. I got the photo of him up here in the Gravity. Range up to 450 miles, cargo space up to 120 cubic feet, seats up to 7 adults.
They did also
Designed by
mention tariffs, combination of impairment, net effect, tariffs. They lost about 55 million from that.
holy
So
shit.
yeah, that's going to be a big deal. It's unfortunate as well the timing, because I guess with the EV tax credit being removed in September, they won't have any vehicles that qualify realistically for that, because the Gravity Touring, which is 79.9, so it meets the criteria under that threshold, that is going to be released Q1 2026. So outside of the parameters for that, so they won't be getting that benefit from that EV, and then most likely that's going to be the only thing, I guess, under this administration.
These tariffs are killing us.
Yeah.
All right. I just designed my Gravity. $113,000 is my configuration price. Due today, only 1,000. All right. Honey, get the checkbook. NASCAR says, Michael Anthony says, who is he? This is, what's your Lucid channel, Cal?
Lucid City.
Lucid City on YouTube, or you can also check him out on Financial Journey on YouTube. NASCAR All Out says, do you know what type of LiDAR sensor Lucid is incorporating into their vehicle? Cal, any thoughts?
I'm not too sure about that.
I guess that's that picture of the one we saw in the slide deck with the Uber logo on it. But I feel like this is not a fully outfitted.
No.
There's got to be some other cameras and stuff that aren't outfitted on this thing. I hope it doesn't look like a Waymo.
Yeah, no kidding. Tony, I appreciate you having me on. I do have to kind of step off briefly.
All right. You're welcome back anytime. And if we're still here and you want to come back and chat, we're going to talk about some other tickers that the audience wants to talk about. So thank you for your time and sharing your thoughts on Lucid, Cal.
Anytime. Thanks, Tony. Okay, I'll tune in.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
All right. Y'all wanted to look at Palantir. Yeah, Chris, in September, I tried the Mullen reverse split trick, I think on Schwab, Webull, and Fidelity. None of them charged me any fees, and all of them gave me my, we paid pennies and we got the reverse split. Fidelity, back in September, I got the reverse split the morning of the reverse split. Schwab and Webull took a few days. And by then, my 7,000% gain on that trade and those two accounts got reduced by several thousand%, because you know what happens to Mullen after it RSs. But still, I mean, it was good for a couple of free Subway lunches. It's just what I call low bar amusement. And I thought I would try it again this time, but I did not do it on multiple brokers. And the thing that I did differently this time, and I don't know if that made a difference or not. Last time I bought my one share, like 2 days before the reverse split. So it was settled before the RS. but I think I had bought it at like 7 or 9 cents and it lost a couple pennies before the reverse split date. Still came out fine. I mean, 7,000% gain in a day. But this time I said, I'm going to wait till the very last second. So I bought my one share for 3 cents in after hours the night before the split. And the settlement was the same date as the reverse split. So I don't know if that made a difference about why Fidelity didn't honor my RS or not, but you know, it's just for amusement. And we call it the free money glitch, but it didn't work this time. And, you know, the GameStop guys like to say, they like to use these little clips to tell you I'm promoting Mullen, which is high to the hilarious. We're buying one share for 3 cents. I've never advocated anybody buy Mullen, quite the contrary. But, you know, they have no compunction about lying to you guys about a lot of things from this channel. Oh, he's pumping Highcroft. He's pumping Bed Bath & Beyond. He's pumping Open. He's pumping Mullen. I think these guys have hearing problems or comprehension problems. With I don't want to think that they just would boldface lie to you, but maybe they are. Maybe they just like to lie. I don't know. There's some problem in the brain cells there somewhere between the ears and the brain, or just between the eyes and the brain. I don't know which one it is. All right, let's talk Palantir. 172 up 12% on the day. We'll pull up the chart here. And then we'll go back and figure out what caused this rocket. All right, so big jump from 159 to 176. Closed at 173, and someone had asked earlier what caused Palantir. Let me get rid of my drawings here, my old drawings. All right, we got the first real leg up, February 2024, August, and November. Let's see if those corresponded with earnings dates. Pretty much. Every major bump was around earnings. And if you know anything about Palantir, they have been on fire with their revenue and earnings. So this is the type of chart we like to see on this channel. Up and to the right on revenue. Wall Street loves this. They don't like the opposite. They don't like a down and to the right. So you got one thing in your favor here. Next thing you go down and you do. Notice how we're not starting on the balance sheet. Fools. Next thing we do is go look at net income. It's going up and to the right. Wall Street likes that story. Shares outstanding have increased a little bit. I'd prefer not to see that, but they have been slowly increasing. Probably executive compensation, I would guess, because this is not a massive dilution. Earnings per share, up and to the right. Free cash flow, up and to the right. Everything that you want to see from a Wall Street perspective to say this is a growing company to invest in. And we're not talking about valuation yet. Hold your horses. We're just doing a high level pass. And you asked, when did things really change? February 2024. That is, I'm looking at earnings per share. Earnings per share has not dramatically increased. I'm just looking back. I mean, they're 4 cents, 5, 6, 6, 3. And I have not followed every Palantir earnings call. But we know in general, people have been massively bullish, probably overly so, about the growth prospects of this company. Forward PE ratio of 235 is a ridiculous valuation. Ridiculous. Doesn't mean I'm telling you don't buy it, but we know what happens when you have ridiculously high valuations and there is a stumble. It's going to come crashing down. I'm not predicting a stumble. I'm not telling you to avoid Palantir. I'm just saying, like all companies that are flying close to the sun, that one day when a stumble happens, they will crash quick. What a beautiful ride, though. Let's go back to the financials. Cash and cash equivalents, 900 million, 6 billion in total, including short-term investments. Very nice balance sheet in terms of cash and cash equivalents, current assets to current liabilities. Beautiful. Total assets to total liabilities. Beautiful. Where do we check that? We're just looking for a good, healthy working capital. I mean, what's not to like here? And we're looking for a good, healthy shareholder equity. Beautiful. This is what Wall Street wants to see. I still think they're overpaying for it at 235 PE ratio, but it's no surprise why the company has been a darling of Wall Street. Operating cash flow, people would kill for this, a chart like that. So all the GameStop people shitting on Palantir, yes, it's clearly overvalued with a 250 PE ratio, but everything you want to see here is pretty. Doesn't mean that I would go in and pay 250x each dollar of earnings. Not my style at these prices, but very easy to see why the company's been growing. In terms of profitability ratios and financial efficiency, we look at things like the PE. These are red flags. Too high. Price to free cash flow, pretty damn high. EV to EBITDA, very high. And ROE, ROA, ROIC, financial efficiency, solid. Good numbers. Profitability, gross margin 80%, beautiful. Operating margin 16%. Profit margin 22%, free cash flow margin, I mean, beautiful. You got a mix of scary on valuation and beautiful just on fundamentals. Then the story as an investor is, are you willing to fly close to the sun buying this thing and risking getting burned? That's for you guys to decide. Ugh, that cigar is donezo. Anyways, you notice we didn't spend a lot of time on the balance sheet because you don't need to. Do they have cash? Are they making money? Is revenue growing? Is net income growing? Is operating cash flow positive? All you got to look at is the balance sheet solvent or not solvent? Beyond that, there's no valuation of Palantir or any company is coming from the balance sheet. It's coming from expectations about revenue and earnings, financial efficiency. Anya says, what is the rule of 40? I'm going to read it so I don't misstate Dink's point here. The rule of 40 is a financial metric used primarily for software as a service companies to assess their balance between revenue growth and profitability. It suggests that the sum of a company's revenue growth rate and profit margin should ideally be 40% or higher. The sum of revenue growth rate and profit margin. All right, let's look at that. Revenue growth rate on Palantir is 38 and the profit margin is 22. So we got 60. Did it pass, Dink? Michael says Kramer's pumping Palantir, saying it's going to 20. Yeah, I mean, he might be. You guys, if you know me by now, these scare me when they get overvalued like this. I would definitely, if I owned Palantir and if I had been in it since $6, I would have been peeling some money off. I mean, it's fine to let a winner ride, but I wouldn't be letting everything ride. That's just me. I like risk, but I also like locking in gains. Anya, they had some other news. A deal with the government. Palantir stock hits all-time high as AI software company exceeds $1 billion in quarterly revenue for the first time. Wow. Now we got an analyst here saying I was wrong about Palantir upgrading to a cautious buy. I could get behind that, a cautious buy. Have a plan if it goes against you. Palantir hits 1 billion, it'll get harder to impress from here. I got some reading up to do. Maybe I'll read up on Palantir tomorrow and do a video, see how I feel. One thing you won't get from this channel is jealousy about other tickers, though. Congratulations if you've been in Palantir. Congratulations if you had the balls to ride this out and not listen to people telling you, don't diversify. Just buy one meme stock. Buy one meme stock with falling revenue. What a beautiful ride for you if you've been on Palantir. I celebrate all of your successes. Anya says, I think I made a little over 10%. All right. Let's look at a couple of tickers before we wrap up here today. Scarlett is not working, and I'm sure she's ready for me to go hang out. She's not working today. Day off. Let's look at some retail stocks. AMC down today 1%, 284. So people have been asking me, Tony, can you make an AMC video? I don't know what else you want me to say. I mean, I put out my Q2 forecast at the beginning of July. We got earnings on Monday. I'll be live streaming that. That's already scheduled. I don't own any AMC. I'm sitting on the sidelines. I'll cross my fingers for that they make some profits on Q2. I'm not calling for profits on Q2. break even. But if they make it, great. If they make a profit, awesome. I really am kind of sitting on the sidelines till I see what's on the October proxy. We got other cinema stocks. We're in the red today. GameStop up just shy of 1% today, 22.81. I like, let's put it on the big screen. My buy zone for GameStop is down here in this demand zone, 1993 to about 2141. Tony, it's only 2280. Why don't you buy right now? It's only $1. Because I'm an asshole. Because I'm a, what do we call it, Anya? A bottom feeder. Because I'm patient as fuck. Because I don't need to come on live every day and tell you I'll buy every day at any price. I'll be that guy to tell you be patient. There's nothing wrong with being patient. Could it skyrocket up from here starting tomorrow? Absolutely. We already got a position at 2161. We're not trying to average up, ladies and gentlemen, on no momentum. If the momentum shows up, guess what? I can always buy into it. Right now, the chart is telling me be patient. So all these dipshits out there saying, why don't you buy right here? Because I'm patient and I'm trying to teach patience, not blind fanaticism, not pumping. It's okay to be patient, ladies and gentlemen. Get your absolute best entry, then sell into run-ups. If you're nervous that it's not going to go down, knock yourself out and buy right here. I'm just stating to you how I do it. You do whatever you like. It won't hurt my feelings. All right. Other retail stuff. Bitcoin dropped all the way down to 111 a couple days ago. It's trading at 114 right now, just shy of 114. Quantum computers, Kevin Malone special. I have no position in quantum. I just find these naked shorts are in trouble, they say. It had a beautiful FOMO run up thanks to Kevin Malone from $9 to 38, dropped all the way back down, getting a little momentum. They have a very tiny float, Canadian biopharma stock. Tightly controlled float is what you got here. I don't think there's that many shorts in this play. It's expensive as fuck to borrow. Let's just look. I did listen in to their call yesterday to see what Wes Christian had to say. He said maybe a lawsuit update next year. They got to survive the motion to dismiss. Short interest is 5%. They won't talk about this on social media. They won't talk about this. 5%. However, what they will talk about is a very high cost to borrow, and that is true. 222%. Like I said, very tightly controlled float. There's not a lot of shares available to borrow. And if you do borrow them, you're going to pay through the nose. So it's probably not a lot of shorts in this, but the higher it goes, the more it will attract. That is my belief. You got a little bit of FOMO jockeying. And this is a news-driven stock. It's a retail stock driven by news. Would the shorts want to short it? Absolutely. If it gets pushed up. So my general thoughts is if you're trading these type of retail FOMO stocks with very low short interest, 5%, understand the play you're in. It's a retail FOMO news-driven stock. You got to get out before the next guy. to lock in your profits. Get out before the next guy. GNS, Genius Group, is another one that Mr. Kevin is promoting. I said that I'd give GNS maybe a glance if it came back down around 35, 50 cents. They got a boatload of dilution announced. They also have share buybacks announced. And I see the retail community is unleash the Kraken, Roger. Announce the buybacks. I don't know. I don't know if a couple million share buyback really does you any good. When you got 50 million shares about to be added from the bringing ERL back home, and you got $1.2 billion of potential dilution on the table on a 75 million market cap company, $1.2 billion of potential dilution filed. This is a much tougher play for me to get on board with. At least Quantum, I can see a low float. Here I see, danger, Will Robinson. Company wants to dilute. They've announced it. They want to dilute and buy Bitcoin. It's fun to watch. I think it's fun to watch. You do whatever you want. Nixie, I haven't done any real DD on, so I don't comment on Nixie much yet. Finger Motion, another retail ticker. People got hooked in the mouth by the people lying to you about all the short squeeze nonsense, lying to you about what they say Alibaba was going to buy in, lying to you, saying analysts had a $20 price target, analysts that doesn't exist. A lot of lying social media mofos in this ticker. It ran all the way up to $5. That was the last time I really commented on this stock. I said, I bought in around $1. It's trading around $5. Might be a good time to peel off some money. No, that is not me working for the shorts. That's me trying to remind you guys to take home the green. But that, they said he's working for the shorts, Tony. He doesn't want it to hit 1,000. Hey, man, if it hit 1,000, beautiful. But the likelihood is the company's going to announce dilution, which they did twice after it hit $5, which is why we're all the way down here. I don't hate it at $1.50. I'd like it a lot better around $1 to $1.20. So I'm just sitting back. I don't know if I'll get back in it or not. If it becomes ridiculously cheap, I will take a momentum trade in it. Tony, why would you buy Finger? Don't you know they're losing money? Yes. But they also pay pumpers to promote this stock. And it will be promoted again. So I want to minimize my risk, get in cheap, and then cross my fingers and pray to the gods old and new that they hire the social media pumpers for one more round. That's how I look at it. G-Bucks, oh man, what a hot mess. They're saying this one's being naked shorted. I mean, it doesn't even trade 100,000 shares. Look at today's volume, 16,000 shares. It's naked shorts. Hogwash. Nobody cares about this stock. 14,000 shares. How much revenue does this company make? Let's just refresh our memory. Tony, but Tony, they're doing a partnership with the gold company. All right, where's the announcement? I mean, we saw the announcement, but that was months ago. They said they'd have more details for us. Nothing. They can't work on that right now. They're busy counting all the shares so they can issue warrants. Revenue $66,000. Woo! $66,000. You guys make more on your salary than this entire company does in a quarter. Gross profit, $10,000. You telling me this is what you want to invest your life savings in because some goofball on Twitter told you the naked shorts are attacking it? Well, gosh, loss from operations, $183,000. Oh man, I just can't even with these guys. These guys pumping this bullshit. I can't. How do you lie to people so blatantly like that every single day? I'm feeling bullish about it. My model says G-Bucks is bullish. These guys, man, come on. Do they even open up the financial statements? You're bullish about this, huh? 183,000 loss from operations. How much cash do they have again? $2,000. Sorry, $17,000. Are you hearing me? Why do you think these companies pay promoters? Because they have $17,000 in cash and they're losing $183,000. And anyways, why are you fucking around with the company that's only got $17,000 in cash? What is wrong with you guys? Anywho, Railtown still waiting on news about their proposed merger. Pre-revenue, waiting on an acquisition announcement. We got no filings, no filings. It's a gamble. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I hope it does. For those I see, there's literally people that have hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in this no revenue company betting on an acquisition. So I pray for all of them it goes through. I have a very small position in this just in case, because I do like both companies, but I can't come on and tell you with good conscience that it's a slam dunk guarantee that the acquisition will go through or that it will be at terms that people will find acceptable, investors. I'm going to cross my fingers. I got a little bit of my scratch on the line. We'll see what happens. Michael says, why are we looking at it? I'm highlighting, Michael, some of the retail stocks right now that the pumper accounts promote and highlighting the absurdity. People will make 5-hour live streams covering G-Bucks, telling you to go all in. They'll have 1-hour daily space calls. Why? Why are people listening to this nonsense? I don't get it. I find it fascinating, which is why I pay attention to it. I find it fascinating, the psychology of people who are willing to overlook horseshit financials like that and put their life savings down because someone they've never seen on social media tells them that there's billions of naked shorts. I don't know. Anyhow, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Good luck in your trades this week. Discord folks, we'll be seeing you in the Discord.
And to the right, up and to the right, up and to the right.
Hello, millionaires. Short screenplays where fortunes flip. GameStop's journey, an epic trip. From humble roofs to the moon we fly. A company's dream will amplify. Reddit warriors, keyboards in hand. With their eyes on the prize, they took a stand. No one's selling, we're here to day and night. Together we'll soar. Molasses in sight. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. Can't stop on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar. Molasses in sight. Hedge funds trembling, Kenny's in shock. GameStop stock, you'll never stop. From diamond hands to rocket ships, we're not selling, we buy every dip. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. Up and to the right, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Up and to the right, molasses in sight. Billions in cash on the balance sheet. We will win even if they cheat. Dilute us more, we don't care. Book value grows with every share. The doubters say it can't be done, but the retail army we've already won. With every share we'll never stop. Investors say we love the stock. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. It stops on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar. Up and to the right. Up and to the right. We're in for the ride. Together we'll soar. Up and to the right.
Surprise!
We're gonna win.